Hi, everyone. My name is Kaylee McClure-Perno, and I am super excited to be on this training call with you guys today. So we are going to be going over the wellness evaluation step. So this means that you have someone interested in learning more about either the products or what you have been doing. So maybe you made a social media post and they were interested. Maybe they've seen your results, maybe just in passing conversation, or maybe even you're asking someone to be a guinea pig for you to practice how to do your wellness evaluation. Doesn't matter really the way it's set up, we're going to conduct the wellness evaluation the same way. So now that you have the appointment made for it, there's really two different ways that you can actually do it. So we're going to be discussing how to do a wellness evaluation in person on this training call. But just so you know, if someone's not local or if they have a busy schedule or something like that, you can always do the wellness evaluation over the phone. And we're going to have another training video on how to conduct that wellness evaluation. So the first thing that you want to do is that we have a document called the Wellness Profile document. So you would want to print that document out, and just so you know, it's on the Diamond Training Today website, right on the same page as this video. And so you're going to want to print that out ahead of time and bring it to you. So when you're meeting your potential client, maybe you're meeting them at a nutrition club that you work out of. One of the first things that you want to do, if you have the opportunity to do it, you want to sample the products right away. So definitely if you're working out of the nutrition club, you have the opportunity most of the time to sample them a shake, tea, and aloe. And that is definitely ideal because, man, you want them to try that shake. It is so delicious. You want them to be sipping on it during the wellness evaluation, actually, so they can feel how full and how great they feel with it. Also, same thing with the tea. You want them to be tasting that tea and you want them to be sipping on it right away because it's typically pretty instant when someone can start feeling an energy difference from it. And the same thing with the aloe, so they can taste it right away and just really taste how delicious it is. However, if you are not working out of a nutrition club, no problem. If you're meeting them at home, however, you do still have the opportunity to make a sample for them, whether it's a shake or a tea or both of them from home, but maybe you're meeting them out and about. You can always meet them at a Panera or a local coffee shop, or maybe after work one day or something like that. If you're out and about, if you can, again, you could still bring some tea and sample that, even if you're meeting them somewhere out and about. But if not, no problem. You do not need to sample them. But if you have the opportunity, I would highly suggest to do it. Okay, so now you're sitting down for the wellness evaluation with your potential client. So you're going to want to hand them the wellness profile document. I then ask them to fill out the front page. I'll give them some time to do that, and then we're going to go over it together, and then we'll complete the back of the side together. So you only want them to fill out the front page by themselves. Personally, I then kind of step away and I give them a little privacy and time to just be able to actually put their thoughts on paper and fill that out. So once they filled it out, I come back and I sit with them, and I'm going to actually open up that wellness profile. And now we start going over it together. So if I do not know them, this is also where I'm starting to create a relationship with them. And so I might just even ask a little bit about what they do for a job, if they have any kids, and just try to get to know them a little bit. Of course, if you already know them, you're not going to ask some of those questions. Okay, so on the wellness profile page, there's really 3 parts on this first page that I go over. Everything else I just like to have on hand that I can refer back to. So the first part that I go over is going to be these first 3 questions. What are your wellness goals? So I want to find out, are they looking to lose weight? Are they looking to gain weight? Or are they looking to increase their energy? Or they might say just tighten and tone even. Then if they are looking to lose weight or gain weight, I want to know the specific amounts. So what's their current weight and what is their goal weight as well? And then, so how much are they looking to lose or gain? And then I would also want to know if they're looking to do this by a certain time or event. So maybe they have a wedding in March that they're looking to lose it by. Wonderful. Now I have a date that I can help hold them accountable to. And that's also going to help me just kind of remind them of their goals if they ever hit a roadblock or anything like that. This is also kind of just developing the working relationship that you have with them and getting to know more about them. Is this their wedding that they're trying to lose for? Are they the maid of honor or best man, or is it a high school reunion or something along those lines? You're just kind of really creating that relationship and getting to know them so much more. Okay, the next step, I actually skip all of these other questions. I let them know that we're going to be going over this in more detail on the back, and so we're going to kind of refer back to some of this. The next one that I like to go down to is going to be the daily water intake. I want to know how much water they're drinking on a daily basis. And then what I do is they usually write something down, and then I will ask them, do you know how much water you should be getting on a daily basis? Whether they do or they don't, doesn't really matter, but I will educate them at this point that they should be getting a minimum of half of your body weight in ounces every single day. And I will even go as far as that if they drink out of a water bottle, maybe those Deer Park 16-ounce water bottles, I'll go as far and figure out how many of those water bottles do they need to be finishing on a daily basis. And I'm going to start jotting down the goals that they should be starting to achieve. I also like to let them know that if they're only getting 20 ounces of water and they should be getting 100 ounces of water on a daily basis, it's not that they need to hit that tomorrow, but that is going to be one of the goals that we are going to start working towards. Okay, the next step, I'm going to skip over if they eat out or not, because I'm going to be finding that information more on the other page. But just so you guys do know, this part right here, whether they eat out, how often they do, and then the average cost of the meal is going to be a really good piece of information to just have on hand. So at the end, when you give them the price of everything, if the price is a problem for them, I always like to come back to this question right here. Because if they are going to Panera for lunch every day and spending $15, or I don't even know what it costs there, then I'm going to show them how they can be saving so much money by replacing that with a shake, or even bringing it from home. And, it doesn't matter, whatever the plan that I set up for them. I'm going to show them how we can save money, especially if they are eating out right now. Okay, the third piece of information that I like to touch on the front page of the wellness evaluation is going to be the rate your energy level. I want to know what their energy is like right now on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest. And I also want to know, the second part of this question, is their energy crashing on a daily basis? This piece of information is very, very important, especially when you're following up, because you want to make sure that most people's energy is not where it should be. And when they get on their programs, it's incredible the energy difference that they have. So you definitely want to touch base on the energy levels as well. So just so you guys know, all of these other ones, it's good to kind of browse over them, but I actually like to just use this to have on hand to be able to circle back to as my working relationship continues with them. During this first appointment, I usually like to focus mostly on what they're eating and developing the nutrition plan for them. But this is going to be such a good piece of a document to keep on hand and to be able to circle back to. So as you develop the relationship, you can also start suggesting certain Herbalife products that can help with some of these different conditions. Okay, next up, we're going to go to the second page of the wellness evaluation. So the first question I ask them literally prompts me to, do you know how much protein you should be getting on a daily basis? Most of the time they say no. Even if they guess a number, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to let them know. And we have our protein estimator. Some of us are old school and have the paper one that we can use. But just so you guys know, there's also, you can find this online. You can either Google Herbalife Protein Estimator, or there is a link on the Diamond Training on the same page where you found this video to go there. All you need to do is enter their height and their weight, and it will tell you how much protein they should be eating on a daily basis. After I let them know how much protein they should be eating on a daily basis, then I like to educate them why they should be eating that. Because a lot of what we do is the education of not only what is a healthy nutrition plan on, every day, but why they should be eating this and how they're going to be feeling when they start fueling their body with the good nutrition. So here's the reasons that I always suggest why you should be getting the protein, this amount of protein on a daily basis. First, protein is what keeps you full and satisfied. So when you eat the good, healthy, lean proteins on a daily basis, you're going to be full and satisfied, so you're not craving the wrong foods later in the day. The second reason you want to be hitting this protein number is because protein is going to help build lean muscle on your body. And most of us are going for a tightened and toned look, not just a super skinny look or something like that. And so muscles, the only way they're really going to grow is by eating the right amount of protein, is because protein is the only thing that our muscle actually eats. So that's another huge reason why you want to be hitting that protein number, because you want to fill your muscle to be able to tighten and tone your body. The third reason is that by eating the right amount of protein every 3 hours during the day, that is going to help to balance your blood sugars. When we balance your blood sugars, it's going to help increase your, level your energy and make sure that it's at a nice high energy rate on a daily basis and that you're not crashing. And that's also going to help reduce cravings as well. So those are three really usually the typical reasons why I suggest why they should be eating that much protein on a daily basis. The second question is how your digestive system is looking. So typically I do like to find out, are they having daily bowel movements on a daily basis? Yes or no? The reason that we want to find out is that if it's yes, then wonderful. I just make sure they're healthy ones and that they're good to go there. If the answer is no, and you guys, a lot of people out there are not having daily bowel movements, that's one of the first things that I'm going to hone in on to make sure that we start going on having a bowel movement on a daily basis. Especially if their goal is weight loss, we have to get them pooping every day. That's going to help so much with the weight loss, but it's going to also help so much with their energy as well. So if they're not having daily bowel movements, one of the first things I'm going to do, I'm going to let them know that I'm going to probably cut the most of the dairy out of their day. But a lot of that will also depend on what they're eating. Okay, after that, I actually skip the third question because I'm going to find out about their blood sugars when I find out what they're eating. So now I come down to what they're eating on a daily basis. The first thing that I actually ask, it's not on the paper, but it's really important, is what time are you waking up in the morning? And I'll just write it in this top corner. So what time are you waking up in the morning? Wonderful. Next up, do you eat breakfast? If so, what time? And then what are you eating? Also, what are you drinking at that time as well? And then I will start to estimate the protein in each little meal or snack throughout the day. So yes, I have cereal. So I typically note, I'll ask, is that with almond milk or regular milk? It's with regular milk. Great, you're probably getting about 7 grams of protein in there. And it's just an estimation, guys. There's going to be a sheet of paper I'm going to refer to that on the back you can actually find a lot of how much protein is in certain things. So don't stress if you can't figure out the amount of protein in each of these foods. It's something that kind of a skill that you acquire as the time goes on. So don't stress about it so much. Then I'm going to find out, wonderful, do you snack before lunch or do you go straight to lunch? If you snack, what time? What are you having? Same thing. Are you drinking anything with it? Same thing with lunch. Again, time and what you're eating is really the main thing that I want to know. I'm also, just so you know, as they're telling me this, if I'm like, if they're saying they're having waffles for breakfast, clearly that's a red flag of a horrible choice of breakfast if they were looking to lose weight. But I'm not saying anything yet. When I'm collecting this information, it is simply me collecting the information and putting it down. And even if they say, oh my God, this is so embarrassing, I'm eating so bad, I'm letting them know, hey guys, this is a no judgment time. I'm not judging anything that you're saying. You're here because you're looking to get results. I'm simply finding out what your day is like and what your schedule is like. And that is really what I'm doing when I'm completing this with them. I'm finding out what they're eating and what time, but I'm also finding out, great, you get to work at 9 a.m. in the morning. And wonderful, you leave at 4 p.m. and you go straight to the gym, or you have to go get the kids home. And I'm taking notes all over here. So I'm also not only finding out what time they're eating and what they're eating, but I'm finding out what their schedule is like. Are they in the car for 2 hours in the afternoon? I want to know that because that's going to help me plan their nutrition plan better when I go to plan it. So I'm finding out everything. And then if I am able to total up the protein from what they're eating, I like to total up that number. Typically, they are not hitting their protein number on a daily basis. So what I'm going to say is, wow, you're getting about 50 grams of protein on a daily basis. Well, your body's asking for 100 grams of protein. Oh my goodness, we need to feed you more food. We just need to choose the healthy foods. And that's going to help us not crave these chips that you're having after dinner every night or whatever it may be. Okay, after I go over this, the next thing I do is that I go straight to designing their nutrition plan. So when I am in person with them, I just take a piece of paper. I like this because everyone's day is very different. So I'm going to actually share a picture of a nutrition plan that I created for one of my clients. And my handwriting's not the best. It's no problem. I usually ask if they can read it, or if they can't, I let them take their own notes. And so you could even see up in the right-hand corner, I'm going to write their water goal. She should be getting 90 ounces of water on a daily basis at a minimum. The protein goal, her number was 110 grams of protein on a daily basis. I like to write this little note. Every meal should keep you full and satisfied for 3 hours up there. That's what all of that says in case you can't read it. Okay, next up, I literally start designing their nutrition plan. I just jump right into it. So she gets up at 4:30 in the morning. The first thing that I'm going to have her do is eat breakfast within 30 minutes to an hour of waking up. This particular person was not eating until 1 p.m. in the day. So this was very easy. I said, hey, do you enjoy that shake that you're having? Let's do a shake for breakfast. It's a full meal replacement breakfast. It's going to keep you full and satisfied for 3 hours. Super simple to make. If you want to blend it, great. Tastes absolutely amazing. But if you don't have time, you can shake it up in a shaker cup and it still tastes great, and it's going to give you that 17 to 24 grams of protein on a daily basis to keep you full and satisfied. For this particular person, she's a female that's 5'5". She wasn't barely eating anything. She was getting about 20 to 30 grams of protein on a daily basis. I start most people at 17 grams of protein in their shake, unless they're already getting a good amount of protein. But then I let them know that we are going to move them up to 24 grams of protein when their body tells us that it's ready for that. And then she was also sipping her tea. So I said, hey, let's add in this tea, whether she is drinking coffee or not. I say this tea is a metabolism boosting tea, and it's going to give you a clean boost of energy. Let's go ahead and first I'll ask, do you like the taste of it? Yes, tastes delicious. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and add this in. It's really going to help you reach your goals more efficiently. Now, let's say this person was a coffee drinker and they said, oh my God, I don't want to give up my coffee. No problem. I'm not asking you to. But here's what I'm going to suggest. Let's have a shake and 1 serving of the tea first. If you still want your coffee afterwards, you can go ahead and have it. But if you're not craving it, then don't feel like you need to go for it. So that way, I'm not telling them they can't have something, but I'm going to go ahead and have them put the tea and the shake in first, and they might notice, most people do, wow, I feel incredible and I don't even need my coffee, which they're adding creamer and sugar to, which is not going to help them reach their goals, by the way. Okay, after we have the shake, I educate them that they should be eating every 3 hours to rev their metabolism. This is also going to be to help to balance their blood sugars. So 3 hours later, it's time for a snack. This is when I bring out my protein snack document. This document is also on the Diamond Training website on the same place as this video. So that's going to be another document that you are going to want to print out to have on hand to give to your client. I like to go through that document. I can open it up real quick and to have it on hand. I like to go through that document with them and find out what snacks they like. So I'm actually not going to open it up for you guys. Oops, sorry. Okay, coming back. I'm not going because I just want to stay on this page. But I go through and I say, okay, great. Do you like almonds? Yes, we like almonds. Great. Do we like eggs? Yes, we like eggs. Do we like, peanut butter? No, I hate peanut butter. No problem. You don't need to eat peanut butter. I'm also going to let them know that Herbalife has some really easy and convenient snack options for them. They have protein bars that are in a healthy ratio. They have, soy nuts, or the easy on-the-go items. So I'm going to write down some of the ones that my client says that they like for the snacks. Typically, I'm going for the easy and convenient snacks in the beginning because that's going to be what's going to be really easy and convenient for them. As time goes on, and if they get hungrier and the small, easy, and convenient snacks aren't keeping them full and satisfied for 3 hours, that's when then we're going to talk about how the snacks might become a mini meal eventually. Okay, next up, I'm going to ask if my person is looking to lose weight. I'm going to let them know that the weight loss program with Herbalife is actually replacing two of your meals, the 2 Herbalife meal replacement shakes, adding into protein snacks, and having 1 main meal on a daily basis. I'm going to also ask them, is this something that you're looking to do? This is going to be the fastest way to get the results that you're looking to achieve. Is this something that you want to do? Because I also want to write a plan that this person is going to follow. If they're very serious about losing weight, chances are good they're going to say yes. Maybe you have someone that is just looking for a breakfast shake and they're just looking to get a better breakfast option in the morning. Then no problem. I can even design a plan that just has the 1 shake a day if they're just looking for better energy in the morning kind of thing. Now, this particular client does want weight loss. She has a specific goal for a vacation, and she was skipping her lunch half of the time because she's so busy at work. So this was such an easy and convenient kind of flip for her. So I said, hey, let's make 2 shakes in the morning. That way it's ready. And I even suggest to get those like Yeti or Arctic containers to have it all ready. So it's in the fridge and you just need to grab and go and the consistency is still really good. And so the shake is already made, and then she can have a serving of tea with it as well. She was all on board, thought that was such a genius idea to make both in the morning so she doesn't even need to think about it and she can just grab and go for lunch. Again, that's at 12. She's eating every 3 hours. So again, I'm going to educate her. 3 hours later, we need a protein snack. And if she's a very busy lady, so we needed some of those easy and convenient snacks on hand. But we already discussed a bunch of different examples, so I'm just saying, see from one of the options above. And then we come down to dinner, and dinner is about 6 p.m. for her. And so this is what I like to go over for dinner. Now, again, this particular client is actually a vegetarian. So her protein options are fish, veggie burgers, or really any type of seafood, or tofu, but she doesn't really eat a lot of tofu. So I'm going to write down what is specific to her. If I have someone who does eat animal protein, I'm going to let them know that chicken, turkey, and fish or seafood and tofu are your leanest sources of protein. If they eat beef, they can have some every now and then, trying to go for the leanest beefs, like the leaner beef rather than kind of fatty ones. Next up, I'm going to let them know that they should have some sort of veggie on their plate. Ideally, 1 to 2 cups of veggie is going to be ideal. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to find veggies that they like. So that way you get their brain kind of going, because they might go, God, I don't really like veggies. And then I might say, well, do you like broccoli? Oh yeah, I like broccoli. Awesome. Let's write it down. Do you like green beans? Yeah, I like green beans. Great. Write it down. Do you like Brussels sprouts? No, I don't like those. No worries. You don't need to eat them. I kind of go through, do you like zucchini, cauliflower, spinach, salad? I go through the list of different things that they like. And so that way I can start exploring in their head to give them some different ideas. And then I also let them know that they are allowed to have a starch or a healthy complex carb on their plate as well. This is the one that they just want to keep it to a serving size or the right moderation. So a sweet potato is a great example of this. But if it's a big sweet potato, I'm going to suggest just to have half of the sweet potato instead of the whole thing. Or if they're doing, she eats ravioli. I'm typically not suggesting ravioli, but that was just one of the only options that she has. So I might usually suggest brown rice is going to be the other example. So typically sweet potato and brown rice. And if they're having brown rice, keeping it to under a half cup of brown rice is going to be ideal as well. And then I go through and I find out what time they're going to bed. She's going to bed around 10 to 11, trying to get her to go to sleep. And so just giving her some nice tea before she goes to sleep, because she used to be a snacker. It's actually incredible. As soon as she started her nutrition plan, she didn't even have cravings for any of those snackings at night because she was getting so much nutrients and her energy skyrocketed. Her results have been absolutely incredible. So what I like to do is that I write this out for them. Right after I'm done writing this out, I ask them, are you interested in starting? Do not forget to ask them, are you ready to get started with this nutrition plan? And to find out if they are ready. And the answer is going to be yes or no. If it's yes, then wonderful. Write up everything that you just talked about, and you can go ahead and get started with it. So I hope that helps. Learning how to do the wellness evaluation. And then the next step after you get them started for it. Oh, one other thing that I do want to mention, if I have them in person, I personally like to weigh them. I like to get a beginning weight, and then I may even set a weigh-in appointment for 2 weeks later, or even once a month or something like that. So that way you can help keep them accountable. But if you can get that beginning weight and beginning pictures, that would be absolutely incredible. Okay, next up, you're going to be doing follow-up after you make the sale. That's going to be another video. So I hope that helped with learning how to do the wellness evaluation. And again, after you make the sale, they say, yes, they want to get started, write up all the prices or go on your Go Herbalife shopping website. Great, the total is this. And just so you guys know, if there's ever a problem with price, so if they're getting maybe they're just getting the shakes to get started, and I'm going to quote it at $101, but I'm even going to say that's the shake and the protein, just so you guys know, the shake and the small protein. I'm going to say it's $101, and that's for 30 servings of the shakes. That's going to break down to a little over $3 per shake. When you break it down for them and let them know per serving, they're like, oh, that's not bad at all. Because again, a lot of these people are used to going to Starbucks and paying like, I don't know, $10 for a cup of coffee and a croissant, which is not doing them any benefit. And so when you break that down, that usually starts to help, but don't feel bad quoting the price. People, when we go to the grocery store, we're paying over $100 on a weekly basis kind of thing. And this is going to last them a while. So anyways, I hope that helped. If you have any questions, please just refer back to your coach and they can help answer any of these questions for you. Have a good one.